Catholics abstain from flesh meat on days of penance such as Ash Wednesday, Good Friday, and Fridays of Lent.
Abstinence is one of the oldest Christian traditions. From the first century, the day of the crucifixion has been traditionally observed as a day of abstaining from flesh meat, black fast, to honor Christ who sacrificed his flesh on a Friday. In recognition of Friday as the day of the crucifixion, canon law calls for abstinence from eating meat on all Fridays of the year. Outside of the Fridays of Lent, Catholics may choose to substitute another penance that is particularly meaningful to them, although they continue to recommend abstinence on all Fridays for Catholics. Abstinence from meat is required for all Catholics aged 14 and older and has no upper age limit. Since Jesus Christ sacrificed his flesh for us on Good Friday, we refrain from eating flesh meat in his honor on Fridays. Flesh meat includes the meat of mammals and poultry, and the main foods that come under these heading are beef, pork, chicken, and turkey. While flesh is prohibited, the non-flesh products of these animals are not. Things like milk, cheese, butter, egg, and sauces made from animal fats. Fish do not belong to the flesh meat category. The Latin word for meat, caro, from which we get English words like carnivory or carnivorous, applies to the flesh meat and has never been understood to include fish. Furthermore, in former times, flesh meat was more expensive, eaten only occasionally and associated with feasting and rejoicing, whereas fish were cheaper, eaten more often, and not associated with celebrations. The fish food category includes cold-blooded animals that live in the water and use gills. Examples include cod, perch, salmon, walleye, halibut, and tuna. Cold-blooded animals are also allowed. Examples include frogs, clams, turtles, shrimp, crab, and oysters. Abstinence is a form of penance. Penance expresses sorrow and contrition for our wrongdoing, indicates our intention to turn away from sin and turn back to God, and makes reparation for our sins. A reparation helps to cancel the debts and pay the penalties incurred by our transgressions. Abstinence is a form of asceticism, the practice of self-denial to grow in holiness. Jesus Christ asked his disciples to deny themselves and take up their cross. Abstinence is a sober way to practice simplicity and austerity, to deny the cravings of our bodies, to honor Jesus Christ, who practiced the ultimate form of self-denial when he gave his body for us on the cross. Thus, to give up flesh meat on Fridays only to feast on lobster or Alaskan king crab is to defeat the ascetical purpose of abstinence. There are countless options for simple Friday meatless dinners: pancakes, waffles, soup and rolls, macaroni and cheese, fried egg sandwiches, grilled cheese sandwiches, cheese pizza, and of course, fish. In the end, the Church's intention is to encourage the faithful to offer up a sacrifice to God that comes from the heart and unites one's suffering to that of Christ on the cross. Meat is given as the very basic penance, while the purpose of the regulation should always be kept in mind. For example, it doesn't necessarily give a person the license to eat a lobster dinner every Friday in Lent. The whole point is to make a sacrifice that draws a person closer to Christ, who out of love for us made the ultimate sacrifice a person can make. God bless you.